They would fucking put you in a camp and, like you said, and kill you, right? Did Mel Gibson ever do that? Did he ever come to your home and scoop you up? I don't think so, right? Mel Gibson hasn't done that, right? All he did is he mouthed off. Big fucking deal. Lady, mouth off about black people right now. Go for it. Like you always do. Go for it. Talk badly about women. Do it. Go ahead. Talk badly about overweight women. Talk about them.
Well, we're all made in God's image. We have to respect the integrity and dignity of each individual.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I pick on different ethnicities and different races and different nationalities, right? And and stuff like that. But they can do it back to me. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Who gets bothered by this? It's like it just means it's nothing. It's not like on his shows he was trying to trash Judaism. Right. That would bother me. If he was trying to...
That may be Lost Temptation. But
okay, I have heard... I did not see that.
You did not see it?
I did not see it, because I have no interest in that one, right? It's like a Christian movie. It's like, I'm not interested, right? It's like, I'm more into, like, Lethal Weapon was good, Braveheart was mentioned, The Patriot. These are the ones I liked. I didn't really care for The Passion of Christ, so... Well, whatever, was The Last Temptation or The Passion of Christ?
Oh, yeah, The Passion of Christ.
The Passion of Christ. Last Temptation was...
Yeah, that was Scorsese, sorry.
Yeah. The Passion of Christ... But I heard, through the grapevine, from people who've seen it, that even though it was based strictly on the Gospels, to the point where he was so accurate that if anybody had a problem with that, he could just hide behind the Gospels and say, hey, then you don't have a problem with me, you have a problem with Christianity, which I'm okay with. But they said the problem was whenever a Jew showed up, he was always depicted in a very stereotypical way. It's like the money is piled up in front of him. I didn't see it, but this is what I've been told. It's like, if all the Jews have like big fucking noses, right? It's like, all over the top, with all the stereotypes. Let's hope that this time, when he does his movie, the Jews are not shown in such a stereotypical, demeaning way. Because I would have a problem with that.
Which they wouldn't. They're not going to be in a movie about the Maccabees. Like, they're the good guys. The Maccabees are the good guys. He's not going to trash Jews.
Right. So I would not have a... Well, no, you could still trash us with a lot of different ways.
He's not going to do that.
Okay. But like, those are the things that would bother me. So the things the only things that Mel Gibson has bothered me is what he does on film. And I didn't see Passion, but I've been told in it that, like, Jews don't look good in it. The thing that bothers me the most of anything that he's done off of the camera, right, is that he beat his wife and his girlfriend. That I don't like. That is exponentially worse to me than all the garbage he's...
But she might have asked for it.
All the racist garbage. Like if he says like nigger and kike and wop and whatever. What's an Aussie? Is what? It's kangaroo.
I didn't know ethnic slurs.
He said like he came in with like boogie woogie and heeb and all the heebs and the boogie woogies and the jungle bunnies and the jigaboos and the what other ones
Mel Gibson and I have something in common.
Yeah.
We both starred in a movie called What Women Want.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I made mine in January of 1996. Mel Gibson made his like 18 months later. So I think they took the idea for their movie, at least the title, from my movie, and I've never gotten credit. What Women Want.
Okay. Yeah, so you know what? It's like, racial jokes I think are funny, and racial rants are if they're done properly, I mean, to me, are just, it's entertaining. I was entertained when I heard the tape of what Mel said. I don't know, how do people get so offended? Are people so sensitive that oh my God, he said these things about the Jews? I mean, like, who are these people that get so bent out of shape? I was never bent out of shape. The only people I ever knew that were like bent out of shape were the people that on the media. Like, the goyim on the media were like, uh-oh, Jews must not like this. So they told all the Jews, like, hey, if you're Jewish, you shouldn't like this. And I'm like, well, you know what? I don't need you to tell me how to think. I'm Jewish. That doesn't bother me. It just doesn't bother me. I don't have this sensitivity when it comes... I don't like the fact that he hit his wife. That I have a problem with. I don't have any...
Even if she deserved it.
No. I have no tolerance for wife beaters, and that I have a big problem with. Okay, but on the same token, there's a guy like last night, I was saying this, Alec Baldwin.
Right.
He was an abusive bastard to his family. The whole family was an abusive bastard to his kids, his wife. He's a liberal and he spouts off all this bullshit, you know, like, oh, blah, 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 about the wars, blah, 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 blah. You know, and he said, like, you know, if Bush wins, I'm going to move to, leave the country. And I'm like, go, go, Mr. Baldwin. You know, and the guy's kind of like a prick, and I don't agree with anything he says, and I'm more offended by the things he says, probably, than I am about Mel, right? But like last night I watched the movie. Like, it doesn't bother me. The stuff that comes out of it. But I don't like the fact that he abused his family, but it's not going to make me not watch the stuff. People like the liberals get like so nervous about Mel. We're going to boycott his movies. We're going to boycott his stuff. You know? And I don't get it. Why? Where is the righteous indignation going the other way? You know, when a Larry David or somebody picks Judaism in the worst light, makes fun of it, you know, or you know, when they do these things and they make the people who keep Judaism out to be fools, where is the righteous indignation on that?
What did you think of Meet the Fockers? Did you think that was...
It was embarrassing to watch, a little bit embarrassing to watch. It's just stupid. But there was no portrayal of Frummies, right? I'm more bothered when a Frummie shows up like on Seinfeld or on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it's always depicted, and Howard Frum Jews always depicted hypocrites, fools, stupid, motivated by money. All of the mitzvahs they do is a joke because they don't really care about them, because in reality they just do whatever they want, and they have sex with, you know, out of marriage. They fool around with their husbands, they cheat and they steal, and it's always about money. And it makes me sick that this is the way that we are always portrayed, even though that such things are probably such a small percentage with us, perhaps smaller than in any other type of community that you can find. But nevertheless, when we find our way onto HBO, that is how we're portrayed. So I am far more bothered by that than I could ever be by anything that comes out of Mel Gibson's mouth, because it doesn't appear on film. And so I don't care. But when they put it on film or on TV, and goes out to like America, and the average person who's maybe never seen or come in contact with a Frummie, this is the way we are portrayed. And you know, the way we are portrayed on TV, I think is very important, because people in America are so stupid and are so brainwashed and educated, unfortunately, and indoctrinated with the stupidities that go on TV and go in the movies, and they think that's reality. And so this is how Judaism, this is how Frummies are portrayed. It does a terrible injustice to us, and that bothers me. Anyone who badmouths Mel Gibson for the things he has said about Jews, but turns around and has no problem with the crap that Hollywood produces, and every time a Frummie is depicted, is somebody who's either ignorant or whose ignorance is written on their forehead, because the inconsistency is glaring. And that is my vote. And there's only like 2 people left in the chat room. No, there's 5. Okay, good. All right, let me look real quick. I'll look at the chat room. Oh, Greg asks, Rabs, what do you think now of that black Jewish chick who said I was anti-Semitic for joking about my Jewish nose? Like I said to you at the time, I thought that she's got no sense of humor. You know what? You know what? If somebody makes a joke about their Jewish nose, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then they say, "Oh, I don't need your anti-Semitism." That's a person with no sense of humor, right? Because first of all, it's self-deprecating, right? Because they made fun of themselves. They're Jewish, so they're allowed to say it, right? So if someone is like so hyper-tense, "Oh, don't make racist jokes in my presence," there's a person with a real tight ass, you know, and just like loosen up. Okay. Okay, so Greg liked that one. Okay, I've talked. You go, Levi. What do you think?
Should we get a Pasha?
Should we? Let me just see what we've done here. No respectful. Okay, so we covered it all?
Yeah.
We covered all the bases? All right. You want me to bring up your thing?
Yeah, please.
All right. Hey, 6 people in the chat room. We're doing all right.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, you got your thing. Okay.
This week is sports fans.
Kisabo. This week's Parashat is Kisabo. Can you say it?
This week's Torah portion, Parashat, is Ki Tavo.
Let's talk about this first for a minute. Why do you insist on using pronunciation